Garnet, as recently as 7 years ago, could not have envisioned this, but in succession, every year has been a record-setting year.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome inside Tarble Pavilion, the home of the Swarthmore College Garnet, for a Centennial Conference matchup between Swarthmore and the Ursinus Bears. Bob Long, Jacob Brady alongside, and Jacob, well, the train rolls on here for this Swarthmore Garnet team. They are the #1 team in the country. They are undefeated, 15-0 on the year, and a blistering 40-2 in their last 42 games dating back to last season. One of those two losses, however, one was to Wisconsin Oshkosh, the other to this very Ursinus Bears team, which took down the Garnet last year on the road in Collegeville. It was a close game earlier this year in Collegeville as well. Came down to the final minute of the game. Swarthmore a 2-point winner there. Something about this Ursinus team, no matter where they are in the standings, makes it difficult for this Swarthmore team to execute and to run away from them.
Yeah, ever since the Garnet sort of broke that F&M stretch, couldn't beat the Diplomats for a long time, it's sort of been Ursinus that, as you say, regardless of where they stand, has stepped up and provided a big challenge to this Garnet team. 94-88 the win last year for the Bears in Collegeville, and again, as you said, 88-86, and that was a game that the Bears really had in hand. It was a couple giveaways and a couple fouls in that last minute that allowed the Garnet to walk away with the win. This is an Ursinus team that knows that, at least in that game, they controlled their destiny, and ultimately, in a sense, they blew it against the Garnet team, and I imagine this is a team that's hungry and looking for revenge tonight.
Meanwhile, for this Ursinus team now, time to lick the wounds. They've lost 3 of their last 5 games, and all of a sudden, 3-5 in the conference, a team that before the year you would have thought positively one of the top 5 that you'll see in the Centennial Conference tournament. That very much in doubt. Now going on the road and taking on the #1 team in the country, well, the task certainly appears daunting. Leading the way for Ursinus is Ryan McTamney, a guy who's in double digits just about every time out, 25 points in his last game, and really leads the scoring for this team, can shoot it from the outside, can slash to the basket, but recently, with some depth being taken away from the roster, needs to be more of that back to the basket guy, a guy that can bring you down from inside the lane.
This is a team that only runs about 7 deep or so. Small roster overall. You compare that to the Garnet, who have 10 players averaging double digits a game in playing time. So much tighter. You see their top guys, McTamney, averaging 33 minutes a game, Hughes 32. These are guys that they really rely on, and obviously they're going to be the targets of the Garnet's game plan defensively. Garnet are blessed with a couple of fantastic defenders, Zach Odell, Nate Schaefer, of course, making their names known in the backcourt. And then you've got the smaller guys who can really pressure on the ball. Ryan Ingram, of course, Connor Harkins, I would say a very underrated defender. They'll definitely have their hands full with this Bears team, but they've certainly faced challenges before.
A balanced scoring attack, nearly 80 points a game for this Swarthmore team. Their leading scorer, 13 points a game, George Visconti. 5 guys over 10 points per game on average, and then Ryan Ingram right behind. He's around 5, and Vinny D'Angelo scoring 9 per game. So it's going to be balance against an undermanned Ursinus team, but a team that has shown that it can take this #1 team in the country to the brink. So excited to be here for this broadcast. Bob Long, Jacob Brady alongside. And now we'll send it down to the public address announcer for the introductions and then tip-off here on GSN. And now we're all ready for tip-off here on the Garnet Sports Network. Ursinus out there on the floor. You see them dressed in their road black uniforms. Swarthmore still in the huddle. Landry Kosmalski, the 8th-year man here on campus, is giving last-minute instructions here as this 15-0 team welcome back out onto the floor by their home fans and by their home students, the first of which they've been able to see this team at home. And Jacob, your first time back on campus in about a month here. It's nice to have you back. Nice to have you back on the air, and my sidekick with me again.
Great to be back. I mean, I was watching a lot of the games over break, and very impressive the community turnout. And it's nice to see. You know, it used to be if you want to see high-quality basketball and you lived in Delco, you'd maybe have to make the trip over to Nova or make your way into Center City. But now, some great quality basketball being played right here in the heart of Delaware County.
And we are underway here in a Centennial Conference tilt. Swarthmore in white, Ursinus in black. And Ursinus into an early zone as Odell tries to make it free. 17, now 16 on the shot clock as Odell attacks the center of that zone, but a wild shot leads to an opening possession giveaway here as the Ursinus Bears come into the offensive zone. Knocked away by Odell.
Odell just trying to work his way in there, but found himself with his face to the basket and really nowhere to go and just had to force up a shot with a lot of black jerseys around him.
Bruce Edwards, such a good athlete, but missed 2 bunnies inside. He can't believe it as he extends his right arm up towards the rim. 20 on the shot clock. Jimmy Paday to inbound. McTamney open for 3. That's a bit short. Odell will drive all the way again. Contact, no call, but he finishes it. Well done there by Zach Odell.
It's a nice job there. Odell so strong finding that lane and getting some momentum running downhill. Strong to the basket.
Hands in the passing lane there, Connor Harkins, and he'll get it back on the other end. A little short from 3, and Edwards good position. Open is Hughes. Can't hit the 3, and a slow start early on for Ursinus.
It's good hustle there from McTamney to get the second chance for the Bears. Schaefer and Odell just a bit slow turning around from that shot.
Odell this time feigns the 3. A step back in the lane, no good. And another offensive rebound. Bruce Edwards, good size, his second offensive carom of the night.
I don't generally see a front court that can quite match up with Schaefer and Odell, but this front court for Ursinus doing a good job so far keeping possessions alive.
2 on the shot clock. McTamney everything but the finish. That was excellent footwork to get to the glass. Visconti gets a touch on the wing, 20 on the shot clock. There's Schaefer inside. High-low action as Odell brings the defender forward with the eyes there in the zone, and Schaefer hangs out on the baseline.
You can just never leave Nate Schaefer alone underneath the basket. Shooting just about 60% from the field, nearly all of those coming from within the restricted area. Such a dangerous weapon out on the floor.
I was going to say 60%, yes, when you get looks like that one. Nice job positioning there by Schaefer. Visconti's going to pick up a nickel dimer on the drive by Ryan Hughes. It's already a good adjustment, Jacob, by Swarthmore against this zone. Ursinus really more in a 3-2 look in that last defensive possession. And Swarthmore certainly excited to get it inside to Zach Odell. That really opens up the rest of the offense against the zone. Here's Gordon spinning and firing. Tough shot halfway down, but no. Odell again. This time Schaefer was covered, so he'll attack himself, spinning to the baseline. Good footwork. He got his own rebound and a left-handed finish for the big man for Swarthmore.
Just a chance to pad the stats right there, maybe a little bit.
That's right, an offensive rebound and a bucket. Nicely done from Odell, as you see on your screen. Vinny D'Angelo, storyline here, picks up his second personal foul, team's third in less than 3 minutes of basketball.
He's definitely been a big piece for the Garnet this season. Ryan Ingram came in as the starting point guard. D'Angelo, local product from Sun Valley, came in, taking over that starting spot since winter break and holding on up to scoring average, and he is a very adept point guard, great at cutting to the basket. Not the biggest guy, but so wily and agile inside.
It was a great job on the last possession by Michael Caprice to get his hands in the passing lane, 2-on-1. Paday has to do a little bit better for Ursinus, but the long arms of Caprice makes it difficult. 8 on the shot clock. Paday, that's a tough pull-up. No good off the back iron, and nobody rebounding for the Bears. They're scoreless through better than 3 minutes into this basketball game. Odell was clearing out Caprice. Now they'll work it around to the top of the key. Caprice had trouble catching it, and Gordon right there to pluck it. McTamney runs off the ball screen from Paday. Edwards forces his way in, no, and a big rebound by the freshman Caprice.
I mean, the Bears were getting good looks early on. They've tried to force a couple contested mid-range shot there. That was a good look from Edwards, but they've just missed some shots right in the restricted area, and you can't do that against this Garnet team. You've got to take advantage of the opportunities you're given.
Ursinus on the board. Ryan Hughes, the sophomore, hits the floater in the lane. And I think that's an important part of the floor for this Ursinus team. And there's a big block inside. Gordon got a piece. And a foul called inside. That's the first against this Ursinus team. But really, that 15-foot area, Swarthmore doesn't want to get beaten from the three-point line by Hughes and by McTamney. Can they exploit the middle of that area in the middle of the floor for that Swarthmore defense? Then on the other side, there's the foul called in the lane as 3 Bears were in there on Odell.
I mean, those, as I said, they're likely going to be their best looks because of the Garnet really just trying to hold them to the three-point line, holding them inside and giving up those contested looks from the mid-range, but Ursinus has to knock them down if they want to stay close in this one.
8-2 Garnet on a nice finish by Michael Caprice. Edwards inside, good back cut, and Ryan McTamney with the offhand finish.
It's a nice job, goes underneath the basket right there. Salah still stuck on the other side, and just the easy lay-in over him.
Zone look again here from Ursinus. 2 men deep. It's a 3-2 zone. Shaw got his defender in the air. Inside they go. Good catch there by Caprice. Goes one-on-one on Olszewski, and a travel will send it the other way. So Ursinus, they've withstood an initial surge here from this Swarthmore team. It's 8-4 with 14:43 to play.
Defense has certainly been proficient from the Bears tonight. Usually these games seem to turn into shootouts.
Good bucket there by Hughes, attacking the body of the defender, Connor Harkins. 8-6. Salah into the middle of the zone. Extra pass for Ingram. Can't hit the 3 and brought down by McTamney. Ursinus wants to run out of this full court look from Swarthmore, this time off a Swarthmore miss.
Ingram, and normally a very good three-point shooter, has had his struggles from beyond the arc this season. Only 28% on those long-range looks.
Great possession inside. Olszewski on Michael Caprice. And a wonderful entry pass by Ryan Hughes.
It's a beautiful job there. As soon as he got to the inside hip, knew he was free and didn't take a look back, went right to the hoop.
Too strong. Offensive rebound, Caprice. Contact, no. Follow, no. And Olszewski on the floor. It'll be a tie-up with 13:43 to play. Arrow pointing Ursinus' way.
Regardless of the loss of the possession, that's great hustle from Caprice right there. Said it many times, but freshmen, you just don't expect them to be that strong. Caprice continuing to battle inside there, trying to give the Garnet another chance. Ultimately falls to the Bears.
Swarthmore stays in the full court look. Jimmy Paday runs the point, guarded by Ryan Ingram in the backcourt. Off the curl, a pull-up, and it's good. Trey Kohler, the freshman guard from Abington Heights, Pennsylvania, and Ursinus with a 10-8 lead.
Yeah, those are the looks right there that are going to open up for them. You get some movement, catch in the mid-range, immediately go up for the shot, and just continue making those, and you'll have a chance in this one.
Big find there inside from George Visconti, and it's 10 apiece. McTamney, Schaefer stays with them.
It was a great pass from Pade coming out of the backcourt and going against his momentum there to find McTamney.
Swarthmore continues to front Lucas Olszewski, second possession that they've been beaten on a lob, and the first time it was a bounce pass, but good position inside by Olszewski. And had trouble with the pass there. The other way comes Kohler. Open is Edwards for 3. Back iron, no, and a big rebound there. McTamney going to be tabbed for the foul on the rebound attempt with 12:24 to go here in the first. That's his second personal foul. the leading scorer for this Bears team, not one that Kevin Small wants to see his best player pick up.
Definitely something that the Garnet will appreciate. You know, in the women's game that was just played, they came away with a 49-46 win, but they got Ursinus's perhaps best player, starting point guard Elias Stevens, on the bench early on with 2 fouls, and maybe with McTammany taking a seat here, a chance to go on a bit of a run.
Well, it's a homecoming for a lot of people here, Jacob. I know you came back from a month away at home and getting ready for the next semester. I know you took a big test, so I hope that went well. A lot of studying for many, many months, maybe even years leading into that, so I wish you the best there, my friend.
Appreciate it.
And then a longer homecoming of sorts. Daya, our producer, is back here helping us with the Swarthmore basketball games. He's been gone the better part of the year, and we are so excited to have him back. He does a tremendous job producing every game that he's here for Swarthmore. Good rebound there on the second hop on the rim. Took that one away from Odell, and Edwards got another carom. He's had a nice game early on. A deep three, in and out, but another offensive rebound. Edwards forces himself in, but got a little bit too much ahead of himself, too much steam on that follow-up. Odell in the middle of the lane. He'll go to work with his back to the basket, spinning inside. Ingram for 3. Good shot there. That's a big one for Ryan Ingram. Offense sputtering for the Garnet, but they get themselves a 1-point cushion.
Spacing has been a little bit of an issue for them. You saw it on that possession. Shaw, Ingram, and Visconti really clustered within about 10 or 15 feet of each other along that 3-point line, and they really need to maintain their spacing along the arc.
The answer from Ryan Hughes. Odell, no good. And right now, Ursinus is inviting Swarthmore to get the ball into the center of the zone and saying, Odell, go ahead and take that shot. But they're covering Schaefer underneath. They're covering the wings, and they're forcing Zach Odell facing up to the basket to make a play.
I think if you're Odell, you just got to be a little more aggressive there. Drive there, put it on the ground, and go at that zone.
Big block there from Nate Schaefer. Transition here for the Garnet. Shaw given the 3, so we'll take it. Colin Shaw gives the Garnet a 1-point lead. And we go back and forth in the early stages of this Centennial Conference matchup.
Shaw's been great for the Garnet this season. Of course, always the high-energy hustle man, but also scoring in double digits a game, hitting about 42% of his shots from beyond the arc, and a big one right there.
That was an excellent pass across the lane. Olszewski too strong off the glass from point-blank range.
Even when Schaefer or Odell don't get a hand on it, just their presence, their physicality can really intimidate you. And Olszewski there trying to force it a little too much. Almost looked like he was expecting Schaefer to be in his way.
A little bobble at the key moment was troublesome as well. Shaw, same spot, a little short this time. And Lucas Olszewski brings it down. Here's Ryan Hughes. A timeout called on the floor by Ursinus. 9:14 to play first half. Swarthmore 16, Ursinus 15.
Now we're used to seeing these games turn into shootouts, right? 88-86. Time they played in December, 94-88 the last time they met, but it's definitely been a defensive battle here. And this isn't necessarily a new theme for the Garnet. They've often been slow coming out in the first half, but they can take that sort of second half of the first half, string together some defensive stops, and start to go on a run, and this is about their time to get it started.
Out of the timeout they come as we take a look at some of the plays that have gotten us here in the first half. Another look at that block from Nate Schaefer. Shaw invited to take the three. He says, thank you very much. And Ursinus basketball, Jimmy Padeta inbound.
It's not the guy you want to leave open with the ball in his hands on the arc.
Shaw has had an incredible year. His mid-range game is really impressive, and he stretches it to the line as well. That's a big basket there. George Gordon banging bodies inside, and the lead changes once again.
Schaefer hanging all over him right there. Smart to get it high off the glass where even Schaefer can't go up to get a finger on it.
Gordon, another rebound, having a big game on the glass in the early stages. There's the extension of the left elbow. And Abbas Salah so good at taking charges, just feels and senses. Let's take a look at that left elbow and the dip of the shoulder. That is why the call was made. Salah, a tremendous defensive guard. Salah, pull up, no good there. Kept in by Hughes, and now an opportunity to run with the big man Schaefer trailing and Odell not on the floor. Let's see if they go right at him. Gordon mishandled, and a kick ball will keep it here with 8:20 to play.
Had a chance at a mismatch there with Gordon backed by Colin Shaw, but just a little tentative, couldn't quite get his handle initially, but possession saved by that kicked ball.
Salah commits the foul. It was a good back screen there from Trey Kohler, but Abbas Salah fought through. Good on the closeout, just a bit too aggressive. And Hughes to the line to shoot three.
Hughes only shooting about 65% from the line this season. This is an Ursinus team that hasn't shot all that well as a whole from the charity stripe, only 65% as a team as well.
To give you an extraordinarily small sample size, math would tell you he makes the next two after that first miss. Hughes, 1 of 2. A 2-point lead for the Road Bears. And another timeout here on the floor, 30-second timeout. This is the Garnet Sports Network, your spot for everything Swarthmore College athletics. Follow them on Twitter at SWAT Athletics. You can follow them on Facebook as well as Instagram. And I made a confession while you were away, Jacob. Maybe you were listening. I have not gotten into the Insta game yet.
I heard that.
Yep. But nonetheless, you all should go follow Swarthmore on Instagram or join, or what is the term?
Follow, yeah.
Follow us.
Get in the game, yeah,
there
exactly. Some great content put out on Instagram.
Daya right on it, by the way. He had the graphic ready to go. I didn't even tell him it was coming. But a full timeout on the floor here, and for Landry Kosmalski, the discussion has to be about this Bears zone that has really flummoxed this Swarthmore offensive team. And, the stats may not quite show that. Swarthmore, 7 for 21, the 33% isn't great, but a little less than 10 minutes left in this half, and they've already scored 16. The scoring total won't be incredibly low, but it's the discomfort on the offensive end. It's getting the ball into the middle of the zone and not really being comfortable going up without putting the ball on the floor and hitting a 12-footer. If they have a guy, Jacob, in the middle of the zone, and maybe that's Connor Harkins, to just turn, face, and fire, or a Colin Shaw, once you show Ursinus that you can hit that shot, then the big man has to collapse there. That opens up the baseline, and that opens up the three-point line. And I think that's the key coming out of this timeout to beat the Ursinus zone.
It's been Visconti and Shaw who are very comfortable in the mid-range for this Garnet team. Yeah, it's not Odell's or Schaefer's game. Those are the guys who have been catching it in that spot. And, yeah, you can just see the discomfort going straight up with it.
Ryan Ingram, back iron, no, and Visconti brings it down. Harkins on the recoil, in and out. And Schaefer's got to be careful there. Nearly picked himself up a personal foul. Gordon inside. Schaefer was there with them and poked it away. Gordon one more time. And in and out.
It's a good job by Schaefer staying with him, closing that distance as Gordon tried to open up a little space, but avoiding committing the foul at the same time.
Schaefer looking for a skip pass. There's Abbas Salah, good head fake and finish. Excellent.
Nobody picking him up there as Salah slips into the middle of the zone that time. It had creeped up a little high and nobody quite paying attention.
Pulled down here, and it's going to come back to Ursinus. Now Gordon with a face-up. That one does go. He says, if I shoot it from out here, I don't have that guy coming in to block me again, Nate Schaefer. Good finish by Gordon and a 2-point lead. What a pass inside by Abbas Salah on the finish from Nate Schaefer.
The zone certainly has posed its issues, but if a zone falls asleep and you've got a guy who's so dangerous around the basket sitting right there, then he's going to have an easy look right around the rim.
Good one-handed catch there. That was trouble. Now a deep three. And a good box out there by Harkins to take number 0, Bruce Edwards, out of the play. There's Salah. Again, not even looking at the basket when he catches that ball. Visconti, a corner three. It's good. George Visconti, the leading scorer on this Swarthmore team, puts the Garnet back on top. And Jacob, it's been a game of ties and lead changes. There's another one right there.
Yeah, and you see crisp ball movement that time for the Garnet. Nobody really holding on to it, but just keep it constantly moving and hope that eventually the defense can't catch up.
Ryan Hughes putting together a really nice first half, 9 points. There's Salah with a cut, up and under, too strong. And a late whistle is called. He'll go to the line for 2.
Salah hasn't been the most offensive point guard. He's a guy who likes to pass, plays great defense, but he's shown his ability in this game to attack the basket, very shifty, and just showing up where the defense doesn't expect him to be.
Salah sat out the entire first half of the season with injury. He's come back in the second half and been a key part of this Swarthmore team. Now 3 of 5 in the second semester here from the line. 1 of 2 here, stays at 50%, 3 of 6 in his junior campaign. But it is a 2-point lead here for Swarthmore. Swarthmore has been almost exclusively man-to-man. Ryan Hughes has been good. A step back, and he's feeling it. Double digits early on for Ryan Hughes.
He's been having a lot of success in that mid-range, that time driving into Salah, getting a little bit of space, and then just pulling back.
Visconti well long. And inside they went for Olszewski. Could have gone right up with it. But now they'll reset. Olszewski, good position inside. Off the knee and out of bounds to Swarthmore. The bench wanted an offensive foul. Colin Shaw went sprawling. But perhaps the official right in front of him split the difference and give it back to the Garnet.
It's interesting. These bigs for Ursinus have shown some tentativeness with the ball in their hands. You saw it right there where Olszewski really had a clear path. He allowed Shaw to come over and cover him up from behind, and those aren't looks that you want to waste there.
It is a tie ball game, 24-24, and Landry Kosmalski has been liberal with his timeout usage thus far. Jacob, I just don't think he's particularly pleased with the way his team has come out here tonight.
Yeah, they just haven't necessarily shown that attacking edge, that willingness to attack the basket, to keep the ball moving. And I've said the spacing hasn't looked quite as good as it usually does. Guys sort of clustered along that three-point line, and you're going to struggle to open looks up when you're allowing defenders to, practically guard 2 guys at the same time when you keep everybody clustered together.
Good catch in there by Zach Odell. Didn't finish it. He'll go up one more time, and that time it goes. You said it before, padding the stats. Give him an offensive rebound and 2 points for his troubles.
It was great patience there the first time in spite of the miss, waiting for a defender to go by. I think the first shot that he missed was easier than the second.
No doubt about it. Tucker thought about the three, and Colin Shaw is going to pull this one back. 2-3 zone here for Ursinus. Tucker is taken out of his hands, and he's fortunate to get it back. And he'll recoil. No good on that one. But maybe Tucker is that guy to get to the center of the zone. I like what Landry Kosmalski is thinking there, as McTamney's too strong, and Ingram brings it down. Kind of a line drive shot there on his way in. Shaw, corner three, got it. Transition look for the Garnet, Jacob. If you're having trouble beating the zone, then beat the zone down the floor.
Yeah, if you don't let them get set up, don't let them get those wing defenders out there, you open up a corner look for Colin Shaw, and just a smart job showing his willingness to fire away from the corner.
5-point lead here for Swarthmore. A foul called against Shaw, his first, team's fifth. So what started as 4 fouls in just the first few minutes, now tack on one more. Swarthmore in no trouble whatsoever with 3:26 to play in the first half from a foul perspective.
Definitely done a good job keeping it clean. Fouls have been an issue. Zach Odell in a couple games has been limited to, sub 15 even minutes because of those foul troubles early on, but this time playing smart defense and not committing those hacks.
A slip screen there from Lucas Olszewski and a good finish inside with the offhand. Tucker gliding to the hole, good finish. Justin Tucker flies through the air.
See those long steps right there, gets to where the defender was in the lane, picks the ball up, and only takes him another couple steps to make it right to the basket.
Thought Edwards was fouled there. Kevin Small did as well, no call. Now Swarthmore quickly down the other end, and not a good pass there. Here comes Ursinus the other way. They got 4-on-3 numbers. A pull-up is no good. It was a pretty good look from Trey Kohler, but would not fall. Ingram from the elbow. Tucker with the offensive board. Ingram for three. It's good. And it's the big offensive rebound there for the Garnet. Setting up the offense again, and now they lead by 8, their largest lead of the night.
Ingram finally breaking his 0-for streak from beyond the arc. That's big for the Garnet. You see them finally stringing together this run, forcing not the greatest shot, just a pull-up three right there from Hughes, and then making the offense work on the other end.
Yes, that's a hoist, no doubt about it. Swarthmore can really throw a little bit of an early dagger here as Justin Tucker hits it from the foul line, and that's exactly the point, Jacob, that we've been making. If you have a guy that can turn around, face up, not put it on the deck, and score from the center of the zone, it collapses the entire thing that Ursinus has going from a defensive perspective. That was one of the more bewildering timeout calls that I've ever seen, as Jimmy Paday has a step on the defender Ingram, can go up with the left hand, comes to a jump stop at the block, and calls timeout with 1:14 to play in the first half.
Freshman, he's been very good for Ursinus this season, over 8 points a game, starting all of them so far, over 30 minutes a game. But yeah, as you say, a little bit of a questionable decision right there.
But a timeout nonetheless. And remember, Jacob, all this in the last few minutes being done while leading scorer and team leader Ryan McTamney has been on the bench for Ursinus. A veteran team that Swarthmore is, with the depth advantage that they have, they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, that was something that they needed to take advantage of once we saw McTamney taking a seat. When you get the best player for a team off of the floor, there's your opportunity to strike, and that's exactly what the Garnet have done.
This is the Garnet Sports Network, Bob Long on play-by-play. My man Jacob Brady is alongside, back from the winter break, and excited to have him back on the telecast. Impressive response here from Swarthmore, leading by 10 on their home floor with 1:14 to play. Ursinus to get the ball coming out of the break, and Jacob, I do think this is an important possession for a little bit of momentum going into the half for this Ursinus team.
Yeah, huge for Ursinus right here. Definitely want to cut this lead down to single digits if you can before the buzzer sounds at halftime, and try to get some momentum going into the locker room.
"12-2 run for the Garnet in the last few minutes. 7 on the shot clock for Paday. Gordon will launch the three and hit it. Big one there for George Gordon, the junior out of Downingtown West High School.
Was given the space by Schaefer. Does well to knock down that shot.
Schaefer put it on the turf, couldn't finish it. Bunch of hands grasping around once you put that ball on the floor. Swarthmore did go 2 for 1 for what that is worth. Edwards blocked there, but a foul is called against Nate Schaefer, and he nods his head to disapprove. Let's get one more look from our baseline cam. Again, tough to see from there, but
might have gotten
a
little on the wrist there, looked like, before he caught the ball.
That's the right idea from Edwards. Either way, attack the basket. Make it difficult. You've mentioned foul trouble for the various big men for Swarthmore this year. Attack the basket. He's one of the most athletic guys in this conference. Only a junior. Seems like he's been here for a long time. He's had valuable time on the floor since he was a freshman. And a little 5-0 spurt from Ursinus down the stretch here in the first half. Cuts it to 5. A stop here would be big for the Bears. Swarthmore looking for one more bucket. And it's given away. Here comes the rush. Foul there. Won't go, but 2 shots at the line for Trey Kohler, the freshman.
Timeout seemingly working in the favor of the Bears. Took a little bit of gas out of the Garnet, and a chance to cut this down to a 1-possession game.
Kohler, nothing but net on the first one. And it's a 3-point basketball game. 11 left on the clock. Swarthmore by 3. Schaefer in and out, and now still time. 3 seconds left. Plenty of time here for Kohler. Here's the pull-up at the horn. No good. That would have been for the tie. And a 7-0 run from Ursinus to end the half makes things feel a little bit different here at Tarbell than it did just a minute ago.
I don't know if Schaefer misread the clock there, as he had about 6.5 seconds left when he let that shot fly. But either way, a big run for Ursinus, taking advantage. Zach Odell, a shot blocker, off the floor. His defense has always been fantastic for the Garnet, and just putting together a nice run there. The Garnet pulled away by 10, but Ursinus keeping it close at the end of this first half.
Halftime here at Tarbell Pavilion. Bob Long, Jacob Brady alongside Swarthmore versus Ursinus. It's been one of the great rivalries across the Centennial Conference over the last few years, and this game certainly delivering as well. We'll take a break, come back for the beginning of the second half in just a few. And again, you're watching Swarthmore men's basketball here on the Garnet Sports Network.
Why choose Swarthmore? Wow.
I don't know how to say this in like one interview.
There's just like this magnetic secret on campus that people really can't describe.
The campus itself is beautiful.
I was absolutely floored when I first came here. A lot of it came from the values that SWAT has.
It truly is
the people that make this community. All my memories are inseparable from the people that were around me.
I applied to Swarthmore through the Pressbridge National College Match, and it's a program that matches high-achieving, low-income students with really selective institutions like this.
I knew I wanted to play basketball in college. Basketball was a tool that would enable me to get a great education. In high school, I was kind of pressured by the standard to play Division I, but I wanted to pave my own way.
It chose itself for me, and I knew at a more pre-intellectual level that this was the place.
And one of my favorite things and my favorite takeaways of this place has been the community.
I've been lucky to experience what learning is like at other institutions, and I'm very thankful that I did that because that completely changed my perception of Swarthmore. It made me realize that Swarthmore is special in these very small and unique ways that actually make an enormous difference.
The reason I'm so involved on campus is because I feel like the things that I do here matter. You can actually enact meaningful change.
When you're walking around campus, like, I don't feel like I'm just walking by a bunch of strangers, and being in these smaller settings, like, it gives you the opportunity to build strong relationships with people that also have like a vested personal interest in who you are as a person.
It totally tailors itself to like every type of person. You can come here and be anywhere on any spectrum, and you'll be pretty well welcomed.
You'll find that the people here are here for you. I was able to find really good, deep personal growth. And Swarthmore has been that formative experience that the community allows me to have that space that I can have that growth.
I have incredible mentors who have helped me at every step of the way, which I'm really thankful for. And I don't think I would have that same type of individualized attention and recognition at a place that's not Swarthmore.
the Garnet, as recently as 7 years ago, could not have envisioned this. But in succession, every year has been a record-setting year.
Will drive the Euro step into the layup. On the floor. Good time finish for Nate Schaefer.
Why choose?
And we welcome everybody back again inside Charble Pavilion. Bob Long, Jacob Brady alongside your broadcast team for the Garnet Sports Network. After 20 minutes of basketball, it's Swarthmore 36, Ursinus 33. And Ursinus team desperate to get back into the Centennial Conference playoff picture and putting themselves right in the fight here. They sit all alone. I shouldn't even say all alone. They're in a three-way tie for 6th place. Only 5 get into the playoffs here, Jacob. So this game here tonight, an important one, and then the rest of the year important for this Ursinus Bears team. It's been the zone that has made Swarthmore very uncomfortable. Let's see if they are able to dissect it in the second half here. Odell got his own rebound there. Schaefer with a two-handed flush.
Always nice to get the crowd going out of the timeout. It seemed to be Ursinus that had all the momentum in their favor thanks to that 7-0 run in the final minute and 14 seconds of that first half.
And Gordon answers right back with a 15-footer. Odell, another look for Schaefer. Good finish using the rim as protection against the shot blocker.
Those two big men working inside, so strong and so adept inside the restricted area, both times going to Schaefer at point-blank range.
Did not see a lot of Vinny D'Angelo with the 2 fouls in the first, Jim. Didn't have to see a lot of that guy either, but here he's back. Ryan McTamney gets the second half started here. 4 points on 2 possessions offensively for Ursinus.
D'Angelo only 3 minutes in that first half. It'll be nice here for the Garnet if they can get him an extended spell out on the floor.
Harkins for 3, a little short. Offensive rebound for Visconti, and he puts it in there. Nate Schaefer with the initial tap back.
Visconti loves that spot on the floor, and when he finds himself with that much space, basically has no choice but to shoot the ball.
Swarthmore 3 baskets on 3 possessions here in the second half, and a giveaway here by Ursinus. Bear in mind 2 of those baskets, though, came on second chance opportunities. Counted in 1. Vinny D'Angelo glides to the hole, and the man with 2 fouls throughout most of the first half, his welcome back to the floor.
That's what he does so well, taking the ball all the way down the court. This time going right to the basket after a little bit of interplay there. Tough angle, but able to bank it in through the contact.
D'Angelo will shoot 1. Back iron, no. And out of bounds, last touch by Ryan Ingram. Nearly another offensive rebound for Swarthmore. They have dominated the glass in the early stage of the second half. Timeout called. And again, that's Jimmy Paday, who got to the baseline. This time he was in a bit more trouble when he called that timeout.
Found himself basically alone there on an island with D'Angelo all over him, but not necessarily the timeouts that you want to be burning early on in this game. Definitely has the look of one that could go the distance, and those could be quite valuable down the stretch.
No doubt. That one didn't look quite as funny as the one in the first half where he had a step, he's beating his guy, slice into the hole, jump stop, timeout. Let's talk this one over, guys.
So I said it worked out in their favor. They turned it into 7 points.
You're exactly right about that, and ended the half with a flourish, cut it down to 3. Paday knew what he was doing the whole time, just the way he drew it up.
See if they can do the same right here.
That's a good inbounds there. Hughes falling away. Good finish there.
Hey, he's made some of those shots look easy there, going up against a taller defender, going backwards to get himself some space, and then the teardrop jumper.
And I assure you that is not an easy shot whatsoever over the longer Odell. Ursinus matchup zone here. As Harkins in the corner, inside. 3 seconds for Odell. Puts up a tough one, no. Pulls it away inside, power dribble, and that one too strong off the glass. Gordon might have gotten a piece. A tip into the backcourt. 21 on the shot clock for Ursinus.
One thing that the zone has done especially well is limit George Visconti. He's been the highest scorer for the Garnet this season. Only 2 shot attempts for him, or three shot attempts now, and 5 points for him. So a little bit quiet from the sophomore guard.
That's a good bucket, though. He's hit 2 from about that distance, 17 or so feet away. And it's back the way we started this second half. A 3-point cushion here for Swarthmore. Ursinus has withstood another initial barrage, just the way it was in the first half from the Swarthmore team. A step back, Paday. It's good. High percentage, no. Doesn't matter for Jimmy Paday, who ties it up at 44.
Definitely feeling confident there and making the shot look easy.
Visconti into the lane, a pull-up. Couldn't get it to go. Harkins throws it away. A live ball turnover. Produces a transition look, but 4 Garnet are back. Hughes attacks. He's fouled by Odell, and he'll shoot 2 at the line. It's a great take there from Hughes, no doubt about it. One more look at the Paday step back, fadeaway 3. Nothing but twine. But Hughes there saw a big hole in the defense. I said 4 members of the Garnet were back, and that was true, but the 5th prong of that defense, Connor Harkins was not. That would have been his elbow position that Hughes was able to cut right through, and that's why they tell you, think twice about saving that ball inbounds like that. You can create transition opportunities inadvertently for the opposition.
And when you're allowing a guy to build a head of steam like Hughes did right there, so hard to stop without getting some part of your body involved with the shooter.
Shooter's roll, he hits both, and it is a 2-point lead for Ursinus. Here's Harkins. This is where I wanted to see him, in the center of this zone. Now he works it back, and now up top, it's Shaw. D'Angelo for 3. No good. That one's kept in bounds well by Edwards, ping-ponging around on the baseline.
Coach Kevin Small doing a good job there, coaching his zone as he saw them sagging off.
That's a jump ball as Shaw gets his hands in there. Alternate possession will keep it with Ursinus.
But Small seeing his zone sagging off of Harkins in the corner, immediately yelling out shooter and pointing to Harkins, making sure his guys are paying attention exactly where Harkins is. In spite of his difficulty hitting tonight, only 0 for 3 from beyond the arc, still want a guy on him at all times.
Hughes off the ball screen, guarded by Colin Shaw. 4 on the shot clock. Olszewski attacks the basket, blocked there, got to get it up, and they don't. Great defensive possession there by Swarthmore, and a big block at the point of attack by Michael Caprice, the freshman.
Fantastic job just staying in there, fighting, keeping it clean, of course.
Colin Shaw, too strong. Rebound brought down by Edwards. And interesting to see this lineup out there. Very young lineup, 2 freshmen, a sophomore, and 2 juniors. The 2 bigs, Zach Odell and Nate Schaefer, sit on the bench for Swarthmore. Olszewski couldn't finish, but moving his body around, and that time just a little bit tougher than Michael Caprice. The kick there inside, the foul there by Caprice, but it's all about the position ahead of time from Lucas Olszewski, the junior.
Once you're able to seal your defender onto that outside hip, have an inside path to the basket, really nothing that they can do there except commit the foul.
Olszewski in and out on the first. And another one the exact same way. Rolls off the front rim, off the back, and out. It's a 2-point deficit for Swarthmore. Shaw got a defender in the air, rises, and can't get it over the front rim.
That is his spot right there. That time just a bit short. I'm sure the defender wasn't helping there in spite of letting him fly by. Did a good job stopping and staying on that shooting side of Shaw.
Yeah, that's what the scouts would say is good bounce from Ryan Hughes. Able to get up off the floor, down, and back up very quickly to contest. Justin Tucker checks in, Connor Harkins check out, and I can't help but think he hasn't had as much time here coming off the bench, Tucker, but I think he is going to have a big facet and big part in this game due to his ability to catch, turn, and fire from anywhere on the floor, including what I think is going to be at the middle of that zone. Now McTamney inside. Good finish there by McTamney. And really did a little discard of Ryan Ingram without extending the elbow. Just a physicality there from the Ursinus guard. And pulled away from Tucker there. Ursinus collapsed it well, knowing that Tucker is the shooter in the center of the zone that time.
It's interesting. You don't normally see the Garnet particularly perturbed by a zone. That obviously hasn't been the case tonight, and I think ball movement has been a big issue. They've sort of been content to let guys hold on to it for a while instead of getting some aggressive movement around the arc. We've seen a couple times where they've had that happen. They've opened up some looks, some pretty good looks from beyond the three-point arc instead of settling for contested jumpers.
Ryan McTamney continues to have a night, a couple of possessions in a row where he's just bullied his way inside, and a really nice finish the last time. Swarthmore trails by 6. That's their largest deficit of the game, and this lineup remains out there. A lot of scorers remaining on the bench for Swarthmore. Shaw, a big three, not that time, and Edwards brings it down.
I had an open look at the basket, but even those have been not falling tonight.
McTamney short. Out of bounds, last touch by Edwards. It's a 13-0 run for the Bears of Ursinus. And a timeout called by Swarthmore. 12:46 to play. That 13-0 run aforementioned puts Swarthmore in a 6-point hole. The undefeated and unquestioned number 1 team in the country to this point. All the votes in the top 25 poll have gone Swarthmore's way. Ursinus trying to put a major dent in that resume. We'll take a break, come back on the other side here on the Garnet Sports Network.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus, and why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
Swarthmore out of the timeout. They're going to pick up full court, will Ursinus, for the first time tonight. Garnet looking for answers offensively. D'Angelo glides to the hole on a left-handed finish.
When you give him that much space to run, he just gets going like a sprinter, strong to the hole.
Now inside they go. Foul called. Harkins wants the discard. The referee's going to get the grab against Connor Harkins. One more look. Little grab, little discard, but you're going to get that more often than not called against the defender. Four-point lead for Ursinus. They're only 3-5 in the Centennial Conference, but make no mistake, this is the team that has given Swarthmore, the #1 team in the country, the most trouble this year. As Padey, the freshman, continues to hit big shots. That's 2 step-back fadeaways from 3 here in the second. Harkins for the answer. No good, and Padey is going to come down with the board.
He's definitely feeling confident right now after hitting those huge threes.
Another one for 3. Trey Kohler gives Ursinus a 10-point lead. Big shots all around, and both of them on the last 2 possessions by freshmen.
I don't know if that was a miscommunication there, but just nobody going around the screen.
That is what the doctor ordered for Swarthmore. Baskets are not falling. Live ball offense has not been kind over the last few minutes. Send a guy to the line, see the ball go through the hoop. Maybe that gets them going.
Only 3 free throws for the Garnet in this one. It's been a disciplined game, that's for sure, from the Bears defensively.
Harkins, one of the best foul shooters in the conference. One of the best shooters in general in the conference. Ends a 19-2 run from Ursinus.
We talk about the Garnet going on runs. Ursinus string together a brilliant one of their own. Sure that Schaefer and Odell being on the floor for most of it was a big part when you get the 2 shot blockers, the 2 weapons inside for the Garnet off the floor, just as the Garnet did once McTammany took a seat in the first half. The Bears able to do it to Ursinus.
Vinny D'Angelo riding him up the floor, picks up the foul. Already the 5th team foul against Swarthmore. More importantly, 3 against the point guard for Swarthmore, Vinny D'Angelo, a guy who started as the backup point guard. It was going to be mostly Ingram, it appeared, and then Abbas Salah just waiting for him to come back. Now he's every bit the starting point guard for this team, or the guard that gets the most run. He has 3 personals. Hughes with a step back, tough shot, no. He went down asking for a foul, nothing there. Now D'Angelo with a jump stop. Gets it inside for Odell, waits for traffic, double team comes and it's pulled away by Ryan McTammany. He never left Odell and he anticipated that spin to the baseline. Hughes with a runner. Back iron, no. Schaefer with a rebound. Visconti for 3. Tapped in the air, and Hughes brings it down. And now numbers here for Ursinus. McTammany will pull it back intelligently and maturely to set up the offense in the half court.
They went for the trap there and nearly gave Ursinus chance on the odd man rush, but good to recover.
Big time finish by Ryan Hughes. Shoulders some contact and gets it high off the window.
It's been a big game all around for him. 18 points now for Hughes.
Odell in the lane, it's good. And that's a big one. Those need to start falling for Swarthmore, and the more confident Zach Odell is to shoot it, the more pressure it puts on that Ursinus Bears 2-3 zone. It's a 7-point lead for the road Ursinus Bears. All the way to the hole, and a finish on the finger roll by Jimmy Padey. Timeout called. Kevin Small and a 9-point lead on the road against the number 1 team in the country.
It's a great job there from Pade. Got Visconti off balance that time, saw his lane to the basket, and went to the fast lane right there before Visconti could recover. Big bucket for the Bears.
The Ursinus Bears, we mentioned their 3-5 record in the Centennial. Only 8-7 overall, 4-6 in their last 10 games. Worth bearing mention again, Swarthmore as a program, 40-2 in their last 42 basketball games. One loss was the national championship game against Wisconsin Oshkosh, and the other one was a road loss by 6 against this Ursinus Bears team. They've been coming in here for essentially as long as Landry Kosmalski has been here and this train has been running. They've played them close in this building many times. They've been in this exact position multiple times with a lead in the later portion of the second half. What they haven't been able to do, Jacob, is get over the top, and right now, all that's going on in that Landry Kosmalski huddle is to figure out how to make that a reality here in 2020 as well.
But this Ursinus team, they came into this game looking for redemption after back-to-back losses, a big one to Hopkins, seeing that they had a chance to take down the Garnet back in December and ultimately falling short. And they've been succeeding so far in finding that redemption.
Will the story remain the same? Ursinus oh so close on the road, or will a new chapter be written here today? That's a big one in favor of Swarthmore's story. That's Ryan Ingram for 3. The deficit is back down to 6.
Got to get the crowd and the bench back into this one. This team can really feed off the Tarbell faithful, and a big 3 like that, it's definitely one to get the voices chanting.
Salah defensively. Kohler backs him down all the way, and Salah got his hand on it and came down with it himself. Harkins got it. Big time. Back down to 3.
And they're loving it here. The energy up. You see Harkins slapping the floor, saying, we're not out of this one yet. We're never out of this one. The Garnet coming roaring back right now.
Gordon backs down on Schaefer. Spins in a little bit short. Good contest by the big for Swarthmore. Salah glides inside, poked away from him, and it's Swarthmore basketball, 8:04 to play. Another look at that. Harkins 3. He's feeling it with a little something to say to his own student section as he brings the noise back down the floor. Let's see if they can draw something up. 3 3-point shooters on the outside, running off a ball screen. Trouble getting it in. They just want to get it in at all. What a catch that was by Colin Shaw. No complaint there from Ryan Hughes. Can't be, but absolutely the right play on his part. It's a 50-50 ball, and Shaw just got it. High pointed the ball. I always say I hate that phrase. He got the ball at the high point of his jump. He didn't high point the ball.
I don't even know how he held on to it as he went onto the ground, but this is a football game. That's pass interference right there.
Harkins couldn't hit that 3. That would have sent this place into pandemonium. 7:40 to play. Ursinus by 3 on the road. On the grounds of the number 1 team in the country, the Swarthmore College Garnet. And oh, there, what a play that was. D'Angelo gets the finish on the assist from Ryan Ingram.
That was a big possession for Ursinus, trying to cut the bleeding. Instead, Ingram, huge steal, and then D'Angelo, the finish in transition. It's a 1-point game.
8-0 run for Swarthmore. Gordon to the hole. He's fouled from behind by Odell. And that's one I think you take. Odell's in an okay spot, just 2 personal fouls. Make George Gordon earn these from the line. He fouled him hard. That would have been a tough finish through the contact. Speaking of tough finishes, Vinny D'Angelo, wonderful on the other end. And another look at that foul as Gordon will go to the line for 2. And Gordon hits the first, giving Ursinus a 1-point lead, or make that a 2-point lead.
64% from the line on the season.
Two for 2 from George Gordon. In checks Lucas Olszewski. Ryan Hughes leads all scorers with 18 points on 7 of 12 shooting. A 1-possession lead for Ursinus.
Olszewski has posed some problems for the Garnet in this one. 3 for 6 from the field, 6 points to his name.
Odell puts it on the turf. He'll back down on Olszewski, spinning baseline, wonderful footwork. How poised is that at the end of the shot clock? Now Hughes is fouled. It's going to be the body contact below. Wouldn't be surprised to see this go against Ingram, not the bigs up top. Instead, it will go against Colin Shaw, who was in the area as well. But Jacob, one more look. That was fantastic from Odell on the other end.
It's all about the patience right there. We talk about the size, the strength, but that time just feeling comfortable to stop there, let his defender go by and go back to the inside for the finish where there's nobody.
Hughes, game high 19 points. Hughes with 20. For Swarthmore, it's been by committee, 10 points on the scoreboard. The leading scorer is Zach Odell with 12. Ingram thought about stepping into that 3. Plenty of time to get a good look. Harkins, extra pass to the corner, will get to D'Angelo. Fly by, but couldn't finish. Odell pulls it down. Ingram on the recoil, got it! We're tied at 64.
Hasn't been Ingram's game necessarily. Well, actually, he's getting into it, but makes no mistake with that one. I should say 4 threes now for Ingram. His biggest one of the night right there.
Here's an answer that won't go off the back rim, and a foul is called against Swarthmore. It's going to go against Shaw. See if we can get one more look. I am surprised to see that call. Maybe a little bit on the grab to McTamney there. I think a tough call if you're on the Swarthmore bench.
I mean, he was on the other side of Odell there.
No doubt about it. And he had his hands in on the area of McTamney, but that felt like a 50-50 ball to me. Now an extended discussion here. And that is who should go to the line. I think they were figuring out who the shooter would be. If the foul is as called, and it was called on the floor, it's absolutely Ryan McTamney. Loose ball foul, 8 fouls against Swarthmore, so this is the front end of a 1-and-1. Got that one to give Ursinus a 1-point cushion. And McTamney, 2 of 2 from the line. Foul shots will be big down the stretch. Back into the zone.
Ursinus still with a couple fouls to give here, so managed to stay out of trouble.
14 to shoot for Connor Harkins. Patience here from Swarthmore. Colin Shaw a bit short. Another offensive rebound for Odell, and it's given away. Great anticipation. But Day is out of bounds, and it's Swarthmore basketball. What a play by Ryan Ingram defensively. Both he and Vinny D'Angelo hustled all the way back And that is, his foot was on the line there as you saw him come with his back to the camera. And that's why it's Swarthmore basketball.
That's the never give up mentality right there. Pade had a couple of steps initially, but D'Angelo Ingram sprinting there, getting in the way and forcing Pade to fumble and then step on the line.
They got 4 3-point shooters on the floor. Let's see if they can get it inside, though. Extra pass, Ingram, short on that one, tapped back by Harkins. He wanted it right back. He's open in the corner, releases and hits, and the Swarthmore Garnet lead by 1. All the way back here with 4:30 to play.
My, oh my, Connor Harkins, ice in his veins, a man in his face. He'd missed 6 shots before that, but bad short-term memory from him, putting those out of his mind and putting up a huge 3.
Now McTamney looking for the answer. Nice pass inside. Puts it up at the end of the shot clock and gets it to go. Bruce Edwards. And another lead change, Jacob.
Made that a little bit tougher for himself than he needed to. Waited for Odell to react, come over, and get into a better defensive position, but still great finish from Edwards.
They back off Odell. Now he comes inside. Footwork again! How good is this guy? The preseason first-team All-American.
Superb right there. Odell playing a starring role tonight. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. He hasn't necessarily played like the star that a first-team All-American you would think, because of the fact that everybody else around him has stepped up. But when he needs to, and you see the defense right there, when he needs to step up like he is tonight, he can do it.
Another foul as Vinny D'Angelo pushes the issue. You know, you're right. It's the inside footwork has been incredible from Zach Odell. The rebounds have been there. 6 offensive rebounds. Didn't need one on that shot. Connor Harkins gave Swarthmore a 1-point lead. But that's the thing for Zach Odell. I take a little bit of issue there. I think the 6 offensive rebounds is exactly what you'd expect out of a first-teamer. But to your point, if he can hit that 15-footer with consistency, he's unstoppable. Timeout called by Landry Kosmalski as the ticking time, kind of the internal clock, was winding down on that inbounds play.
And it appears the Garnet are down to 1 timeout, so definitely burn through them early. We're going to hope that they don't need them down in these final few minutes.
No doubt. Don't save them for a rainy day, though. The time is now, and you can't turn the ball over there. It's a full timeout here at Charble Pavilion. We'll hang with you here with 3:09 to play. Bob Long on play-by-play. Jacob Brady is with me on color. And this crowd, their first game back in class session, they have gotten everything you could possibly want out of a collegiate basketball game.
It's for sure been a thriller in this one. Sure, you love the blowout wins, when you can take down MIT 105-65, for instance, something like that. Yeah, you appreciate those, but you also appreciate the punches being thrown here, being amidst the maelstrom, offense, defense going back and forth. These are the real games that you come out for.
A long way to go. Nobody's leaving the gym early here tonight.
It's appropriate. They have Shinsuke Nakamura from the WWE's his walk-up song playing right now. It's been a wrestling match tonight, that's for sure.
Nicely done there. I do not know who that is, nor could I pronounce it. Ingram was given the 3. He was looking for his 5th there, but a closeout by McTamney. D'Angelo from the corner. It's long again. This time Hughes goes up high and pulls away what Odell was looking for to be his 7th offensive rebound of the night. That's unheard of. Swarthmore stays man-to-man. Keep an eye on Hughes and McTamney. This is Pade with the ball now, and now they work it to the corner. Gordon Don't think that's the look that Kevin Small was looking for.
Had a man right in his face, not the most proficient three-point shooter.
Colin Shaw from his spot just inside the foul line, and it's a 3-point lead for Swarthmore. 2:18 to play. We're getting down to crunch time here on the Garnet Sports Network.
Again, get him into that mid-range. All his momentum goes straight into the elevation.
Heading the other way, Colin Shaw feels some contact with the elbow. And perhaps a little bit of dramatics that time from Colin Shaw, but gets the call. Whatever happens, whatever works.
As long as it doesn't turn into a technical.
That's right.
Can't forget about that rule.
Nope, that is new here in college basketball. Harkins spins and hits. We've been asking for 38 minutes against this zone, and Swarthmore brought it out there. Connor Harkins to the middle, a spin and a fire. That is wonderful execution.
Yeah, you've got some guys who can really make it work in the mid-range, and they've been finding them down the stretch.
Gordon couldn't finish, tap too strong. Got his own rebound, waving off the shot. He'll shoot 1 and 1 at the line, and needless to say, essential to get both of these for Ursinus.
Yeah, gotta trim this to a one-possession game if you can. Now, if you're the Garnet, you've got to be appreciating that. It's Gordon at the line, got only 64% free throw shooter.
Gordon hits it. McTamney hit a big front end earlier on. That is when Ursinus had the lead. Gordon keeps him in it with that foul shot. Games can be won and lost at the front end, Jacob, and that one essential from Gordon to earn this one.
And nothing wrong with his stroke on either of those.
Timeout on the floor, 1:34 to play. Access to Success is a program that is very close to all of our hearts here with the Swarthmore basketball program. Ryan Ansell putting on the Hoops for Hope game next weekend, and we're bringing out as many shoes as possible. And so if you have a pair of lightly used or new shoes that you can bring out for Access to Success, they'll be all donated to a great place. It's one of the big fundraisers that this coaching staff has embarked upon in recent years. So that's the Hoop for Hope game to support Access to Success next Saturday here at Tarbell Pavilion. In the timeout here, we look inside the Swarthmore huddle, but Jacob, I want to take you inside the Ursinus huddle. What are you talking about right now if you're Kevin Small, and what's the message to your 5 guys that are going to go out there on the floor?
Well, first of all, defense, obviously. You need to come up with stops through this final minute and a half. I imagine they know who's going to be out there. Shaw, Harkins, Visconti, their best mid-range shooters. They've been able to turn those open spaces in the zone into mid-range looks. Actually, it'll be Ingram instead of Visconti alongside D'Angelo. But either way, guys who can knock down their shots when given space. It's about sticking with guys no matter what. You got to keep your eyes open at all time. And you just can't sag off a shooter right now.
You do wonder with the game that Ryan Ingram has had, 4 for 7 from deep, if it's his time on a game like tonight. Ursinus, certainly no need to foul or anything of that nature. It's just a one-possession game, and a stop puts them with the ball in their hand in a one-possession game. Vinny D'Angelo patient. Now we're down to 7 seconds on the shot clock. D'Angelo to the 10. Couldn't finish. Odell had it in his hands for a second, but it will stay with Swarthmore. Referee had it off the head of an Ursinus Bear.
Now you got Zach Odell out there, 4 shooters to space the floor for him. You know how strong he's going to go up there, fight on that offensive glass. But you keep those shooters around him, and you just try to open up a space.
Gordon doesn't like the foul call. I'll be honest, this doesn't kill them. It's the 7th foul on this Ursinus team. And Zach Odell, he is 74% from the line, but only 27 attempts this year. In the past, he has struggled from the line. Pressure moment, let's see if the senior can put it in. But a miss here, not only do you get a chance for the rebound, but the best rebounder on either team is standing at the charity stripe 15 feet away. Doesn't matter because Abbas Salah's in there. The little guy gets the ball.
Just flying in there. Oh my, you got McTamney down there. You got Gordon down there. But it's Salah using his size to his advantage there. A little smaller, able just to slip through the cracks there. And a great job of saving that ball as he falls towards the end line.
Yeah, so that foul wasn't so good. You don't want to put this guy on the line. He hits the front end, and another one coming for Connor Harkins. But the situation that we depicted before the foul shot came exactly true. The wish came true for Ursinus. Have to get that defensive rebound in that case and prevent the offensive player Salah from getting to the glass.
That's just a huge swing right there for the Garnet. Ursinus a chance there to hold the Garnet to 0 points on that one. Instead gives up a couple there.
50 seconds left. Step back, tough shot, no good. Salah comes down with it again, and Ryan Ingram is fouled.
And another guy that you don't want to foul. There's a reason here that the Garnet put their best shooters out on the floor because they know that if they're getting fouled in the backcourt, right to the line, and that should be some free points there.
Still the front end of the 1-and-1, so a miss here keeps Ursinus in the game. And it's going to be a foul against Colin Shaw, a huge one. This gives Ursinus free throws. They could get within one possession, which would not require them to foul on the next defensive possession.
And also the fourth foul on Shaw. He's a guy that you would like on the floor down the stretch, but really has to be careful here in these final 45 seconds. He's a guy who loves to battle and can make himself susceptible to those foul calls.
We said it a minute ago, games are won and lost at the front end. This no different for Edwards, as that was actually the 10th team foul against Swarthmore, so my mistake. The board had it as the 9th for a while, but now it's the 10th team foul against Swarthmore, so still a huge free throw missed, but at least a chance for Edwards to make one of two. And it's a 4-point game. Decisions for Kevin Small. Do you play this out? Do you foul? Only a 14-second differential between game and shot clock. Swarthmore has 5 tremendous foul shooters on the floor. Also tremendous ball handlers, as it turns out. Yeah. I do think you have to foul here at some point.
Going real small right now, making sure you get your best shooters out there and knowing that you can sub on some defenders, Salah and Odell if necessary.
It'll be Colin Shaw to go to the line. A momentary bobble could have given Ursinus a steal. Johnny on the spot was Colin Shaw. He'll shoot 2 at the line. Both teams the double bonus the rest of the way.
And here's Odell and Salah waiting to come on, getting your good defender and a top-tier rebounder, of course, in Odell there. An offensive rebound off a potential miss would be an absolute dagger to the heart of Ursinus right now.
And no doubt an offensive-defensive substitution, as you mentioned, a chance to make it 6. And the lead is 6 for Swarthmore. Ursinus needs a 3.
They need to go quick here if they can.
Cutting was Gordon. 23 seconds left. Edwards rises and hits the 3. Timeout, Kevin Small with 19.7 to play. Swarthmore will surely get that lineup back on the floor with the 5 foul shooters, but Bruce Edwards saying we will not go quietly, and it's 77-74.
A huge shot right there, and of course now if you're Ursinus, you don't need to foul. I imagine they're going to come out with a lot of pressure in the backcourt, see if they can force the turnover here. But if not, just play defense. Play your tough defense. Do not foul. Do not send them to the line and hope that you get possession back.
We might disagree slightly on that one.
Right.
I mean, there's 20 seconds in the game. Shot clock's turned off. At some point, you got to
I mean, yeah, but I think you got to wait at least about 10 until you go for that foul.
Maybe till they get it across the timeline, something like that. If you can coerce a turnover or a 10-second violation. I do wonder if the hook isn't a little bit quicker than that from Small. But I agree, a quick double on the inbound is certainly time that you'll allot to that steal effort. We'll see what they come out with. Swarthmore with the ball offensively. The 5 on the floor will be Vinny D'Angelo, Connor Harkins, George Visconti, Colin Shaw, and Nate Schaefer. Schaefer has become a proficient foul shooter on the year, 80%. The guy who hung in the mid-50s to low 60s the past few years. The confidence to have him on the floor.
And he's an option, of course, on that outlet lob if they want to go for that.
And Vinny D'Angelo is fouled, 14.9 seconds to play.
And that is the smart one right there. D'Angelo nearly able to get it to Harkins in the open court, which could have been dangerous. So smart decision that time on the foul.
D'Angelo 87% on the year, 20 for 23, and that one's nothing but net. 4-point lead for Swarthmore. Ursinus is going to have to move, and again, likely will need a 3. D'Angelo 2 for 2, and Swarthmore, if they go on to win this one, they're going to look back to these foul shots down the stretch. They've been perfect, essentially. Every big foul shot has been converted. Now it's a 5-point deficit for Ursinus. They need another 3, and they need it quick. Down to 10 seconds. Couldn't finish. Rebound Odell. He's fouled with 7.6. And the number 1 team in the country, who trailed by 9 at home with 9 minutes left in this basketball game, looks to come out of here, Jacob, with a victory, earning their stripes here tonight and finding a way to 16-0, 41-2 in their last 43 games as a program. And for the time being, remaining the number 1 team in the country, undisputed and unanimous.
This is the mark of a great team right here. They've for sure faced adversity tonight. For some reason, Ursinus always poses a challenge, but with that, turns that into a 3-possession game. Ought to have iced this one and sent the Garnet to 16-0.
Hughes will finish. The Swarthmore Garnet, responding to adversity here at home, come up with the win, sweeping the regular season series against Ursinus and moving to 16-0. The unanimous number 1 team in the country remains unbeaten.
I was very impressed by this Ursinus team tonight. You know, they fall to 3-6, sure, but I do think that they have an opportunity to turn it around in the second half of the season. Both of their games against Swarthmore out of the way. Of course, they still have to face off against Johns Hopkins, the other ranked team in the Centennial Conference, one more time this season. But this is an impressive team. Yeah, sure, 3-6 in conference, 8-8 overall. But again, you know, they look good. They can hang tough. They can play tough with any team. Their defense tonight, that zone, really giving the Garnet fits. Finally, late in that second half, the cap seemed to come off the basket. The outside shots started to fall. They were able to break down that zone, and after what seemed like forever trailing, finally able to take that lead back, and once they were there, were not willing to relinquish it.
Well, the team was back here tonight in the broadcast booth, Jacob, and it's not just me and you being back, but Daya Schlestra is back on the producer side. So excited to have him back here on campus. You did a great job as always as well, my friend. Swarthmore Garnet find a way to win one at home, and This is going to help them as the season goes on. Landry Kosmowski will tell you, hey, we need to play a little bit better over the course of the year, but adversity fuels a lot when it comes to the NCAA tournament time and Centennial Conference tournament time. They'll lick their wounds from an offensive perspective, though they did end up with 81. They figured out how to beat that zone down the stretch. It was a deluge of threes from deep, and really it's the offense of this team responding when it needs to, controlling the glass, and then certainly defensively coming up with big spots when they're needed. It's fading on me, but my man Jacob's live on camera.
Star of the show now.
The star of the show, the only one. I'll stay off the camera. Hey, it's great to have you, my friend. Thanks again for being here.
Great to be back.
And I'm Bob Long here saying so long from Tarbell Pavilion. The Garnet, a winner, 81-76. We'll see everybody next time.